I think figuring out what I can contribute the best. Like I might not be like, I'm not gonna be like the hood mechanic. It ain't my bag. I can change your tire. But I know what I can do, you know what I mean? Right. I know what I can do for the neighborhood.
Before we get into the conversation, I want to raise a glass to more success, more life, and to the world being ours.
Absolutely.
Cheers. First time we met.
Yeah.
At your screening.
Yeah.
When I came in, you got on my feet.
Yeah.
That plus everything else that I see you involved with, like I said, that's when I realized, like, nah, he really, it's not just about music or film for him, it's just about, like, you're an artist.
Yeah. People who, like, are ambitious artists, not, like ambitious artists, like, for, like, art's sake, not, like, for, like, a career path or, like, oh, I want, like fame or, like, clout or, like, oh, I could probably get rich if I figure this out. It's like, you have something to legitimately, you know, say, and you like are
I think that's the best time to make art.
Yes.
When you have
and
something
so,
to say.
When I get to going, I've always had like, you know, when I have an idea, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. I tell people like, the reason why I will work on a project, will get me to start working on a project is when it won't stop, and I gotta hurry up and make it before it gets like too big to do it all. And that's like one of the fun push and pulls is like, you're never gonna, like, never say never, but you often aren't going to be able, and I don't care who you are, you can be like a billionaire, you often aren't going to be able to, if you have imagination, like keep up with your ideas, you're gonna compromise at some point, right? Like you wanna
They keep changing too.
Yes.
They always change. It's like evergreen.
It's evolving all the time. So I got to hurry up and get it out. Mm-hmm. And so I think when if I'm doing something, I'm like, it's not enough. I need this. I need my artwork to look like this. I need the music to sound like this. I'm like, still not enough. I need other, it's like world building. And it's like, I think people are coming like, you know, more and more, they're becoming more of a standard now. But like, I always kind of feel like I need things to have layers so you can like interact with it at different points. It's not, I don't want to ever like want to make a flat 2D experience.
You got to work twice as hard to make sure whatever you're presenting is appealing to people. It can't. Me personally, you know, I'm like, if you're gonna do it, especially as an independent artist. It doesn't need to be mediocre. It needs to be stellar.
Everything we've done up to this point has been independent, and staying independent is like a real option with proven like blueprints from what other people have found success with or what they've done. How has that changed the way that y'all think about how y'all want to build y'all career?
We were kind of talking about this before we started rolling. But so now I feel like since there is so much access, but they say the market is oversaturated, even though I don't really believe in that necessarily. I mean, whatever. Since I do have so much access to distribution and putting together creatively directing and having someone film my music videos, like I don't need all these other parties to help me do that kind of stuff. It just makes me be more intentional about how the quality, because I know this is my name and only my name attached to this, so.
What I appreciate about it, like at first glance, it's like it's an eye roll, it's annoying. But it's something that you gotta think back, like in the past, like talented people did like have a specialized talent, and then somebody be like, you're talented, let me help you do this and this and this and this. And then a lot of those people looked up and then they didn't have what they feel like they, earned from their talents. And now I think we kind of recognize like talent ain't gonna get it. You gotta learn to build a system. You gotta learn to, you know what I'm saying?
Be able to create a buzz
Content,
for
products,
yourself.
experiences, like all you have to learn to create all of these things. You become such a independent force. Cause a lot of people like don't like fall into like even a team of people. Like so they start like literally doing every single thing by themselves. So it's like now by the time you get into a situation where you would partner with whatever these like larger entities are, these like legacy situations, you come with so much more like self-respect or whatever, and like understanding, education, and I feel like people like it's just harder to screw people over now. They still do it every day, but it's like it's harder now because like I said, people like come in with knowledge they wouldn't have cared to even have before.
It is a lot harder to screw people over now because I've been doing all this stuff myself. Might not know all the legalities, but I ain't completely dumb either. Yeah. And so it got to make sense. And also, you were saying they still do it on every day.
Right.
Because a lot of people more desperate than other people. Desperation is a big thing.
Because they're seeking out the desperate people.
Sometimes I feel it's slightly harder to even want to invest in someone who's not desperate or not gullible. Because it's like, we can't do exactly what we want with her. Like she.
But like their independence is gonna always like, give you the leverage that you need to be able to, because you want to be a commodity so that you have like the leverage at all. Because a lot of people get screwed when they don't have it. Like, hey, help me build this thing too early, and then you just can't really. Your self-respect ain't gonna be enough to negotiate.
That's like the same for me in film, where when I got into it, I knew I wanted to have a sense of ownership over what I was able to do. For me, like the motivation wasn't like fame or any of that. For me, it's about impact and quality of life. For y'all, what's the motivation behind wanting to express yourself and share that with the world through being an artist?
Not even gonna lie, a large part of mine is purely due to me being emotional. I need somewhere to get all the stuff that be happening in here. I need to get it out. I have to. I also pair that with, I feel like I was blessed with a gift. I don't feel like everybody can rap. Everybody think they can these days, but I don't think that everybody really possesses that as a strong skill set. Now, when we talking about, can you make a song? Can you make something that's catchy? Can you make something that goes viral? That's different from being able to rap. Me literally needing an emotional outlet, and then pairing it with me feeling like I was blessed with this capability, and we just got me creating art.
Not literally the same. I think growing up, like I was like not a completely different nigga. But I was a lot different.
It's okay if it's completely different. That's okay.
It would be okay, but I'm not a liar. But yeah, I'm like, a lot different. But I think a lot of that was through me like finding like art and expression and like things like that. And music being one of those things. And then also like through discovering that, being able to like tell stories, give perspective or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I can speak to things or whatever from the way, and people will be more likely to listen to me than you or whatever. Then like, I feel like it's a responsibility that I have or whatever.
I resonate with that a lot too. Being able to show up in different spaces. And like he said, if they're more likely to listen to me, then I feel an obligation to. And then I saw somebody say on the internet, there's always a word on my heart. That's me too. I always got something to say. I always got a motivating piece or word. I feel like that comes across in my music too.
One of the things that stood out to me was you were different from female rappers in the game. Mm-hmm. And it's no shade to none of them because
right.
I like
bad.
Yeah, right. I like some of them too. But you were different.
There are some things, some ways of curating artistry that I would never be comfortable with. Trying to be authentic to myself, trying to inspire. My entire brand is upward mobility, upward elevation, aspiring people to aim higher. And so I think about children a lot when I talk about that brand and what my brand means to me. And I just want to be a good model for little girls. And a lot of people who sit in these kinds of positions or, are ambassadors, whatever, use their voice, use their themselves, love to say like, oh, that's not my responsibility. Like, I'm just doing my thing over here. If kids paying attention to me, that's them and their parents' problem. I don't feel that way. I feel like it's every adult's responsibility to help kids and be good examples for children, because they will one day be in our shoes. And if we are complaining about circumstances now, it's just gonna keep getting worse. The cycle just keeps keeps repeating if no one teaches them or shows them different is possible or that different is cool. I did grow up in church, very Christian, strong faith household. So, it's in terms of like more modest dress, that was always encouraged. I will say, growing into an adult, I definitely have become myself. It's like, what y'all want from me is cool, but what I want for myself is more important. And so if I wanted to dress like that, I would. I just don't. You feel me? I just don't. So, yeah.
Was there any resistance to you wanting to rap?
Yes, a lot, particularly from my dad. So I said, I don't know when I started expressing interest in being a musician. It was young though, like under the age of 10. And like they would talk to me about different career paths and I'm like, no, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing music.
So you knew since 10?
Yeah, 7 actually, 7. I thought I wanted to be a singer first though. I grew up, I was singing in church. I used to sing a lot as a kid and I still sing, but I quickly recognized you can't sing that good. Like you can sing, but you ain't that good. Like, cause when I do something, I want you to look at me and be like, she's really, really, really good at that thing. And I just didn't feel that way about myself in terms of singing. And so I started exploring rap. And yeah, I was like telling them when I was young, they was like, yeah, we think you would be good at this. Or just kind of encouraging, pushing me in different directions. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, I know what I want to do. Yeah. And they like, particularly my daddy, he like, but he know how I am because I'm a little miniature version of him. So he know that telling me to not do something probably just gonna light a fire up under me and make me figure out how to do it for real. I'm finally getting to a place where things are starting to look on the outside how they've always looked in my head. Because you need money, you need experience, you need resources, you need all these things to curate what you see up here. It's finally starting to look a little more in real life how it looks up here. And so people finally starting to go, oh. And I'm like, yeah. I've been trying to tell you that for a hot minute, but you wasn't listening. You gotta put it in their face though.
You gotta put it in their face.
You gotta put it in their face.
It's interesting that you brought up your father was the one that was like giving you the pushback because you had him on the album, didn't you?
My biggest supporter, like my biggest supporter in this life, and he was the one telling me like, no, you do not need to do that. Me and my dad literally got into an argument when I was in college, and I was like, look, if you want to disown me, you could do that. I was straight up too. I was like, I would really hate for our relationship to go south over something so stupid. But if that's how you feel, and if this how I feel, then that just might have to be what that is. Yeah. And it didn't happen, thankfully. I love my daddy, but I was dead ass about what I'm doing. Yeah. And I still am.
Till death type shit. Don't be afraid of falling. Dangerous. Yeah. And this'll be the sweetest suicide. Yeah. It's just you and I. This'll be the sweetest suicide. Yeah. Looking in your eyes, I could die tonight. Yeah. You're killing me, baby. I don't give a fuck 'cause I'm feeling it, baby. I'm stuck on you, just stick with me, baby.
You in music, film, curating. It seems like every project has a real concept behind it.
Yeah, I'm super conceptual. Like, it's hard for me. Like, when I try to challenge myself to be creative, I try to challenge myself to not use concepts. Like, can I riff things or whatever, or it's like what I do for fun, because naturally I'm just conceptual. Like, it just comes out like that. That's kind of how.
Same.
Starting out as rapping, and then going into visual arts, and I did that through trying to build an organization for artists, Black artists, specifically, to be able to, you know what I'm saying, also do the same thing, like empower their, you know, communities and these thoughts and these ideas I feel like are healing or whatever for the community, or like just even when they're not healing, like important. Growing from there into film, I realized like it's all just like storytelling or whatever. And I think I naturally tell stories in concept. So like I feel like my taste is various, but my favorite shit is just like shit that it just resonate with me. And so I want to be able to make that for somebody else. I could do something that was like, I know like objectively is amazing, like critically amazing, people but if I don't feel like it's like their shit or whatever, I'm gonna be like, man, I'm glad that worked out, but like, you know, that's not their shit for real. Y'all just don't know no better.
Yeah.
Just having like a touch point so people can get it. Like, cause when I made the album, my last album, the Church in the Wild.
Wow.
Some people didn't get the concept through the music, but they got it through the film. And then some people like, oh, okay. When I came to the show, the concert, then I got it. When I saw the acts, because like sometimes like it's not that you didn't do something like right or well or good. It's like you gotta connect with different people in a different way around a thing, and then they'll bring them back to, you know, where you was trying to get them the whole time.
You appealing to different audiences when you do that, like different audiences, and like you said, people absorb things differently. I was thinking about you was talking about how you feel about it when it's more conceptual versus not. The very first EP I put out was not very conceptual, and that's how I think about it. I'm like, oh, that was cool, but like you said, y'all think that was cool because y'all don't know no better. Versus the most recent project I put out, very conceptual, very intentional, treating it the same way I would want a label to treat it if they were to come pick me up. You know, the same care, the same attention. You know, maybe not the same amount of dollars being filtered into it, but you know, the heart is there. The heart has always been there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Favor.
Let's talk about it.
First, congrats on
Ran me
dropping it.
raggedy. Thank you. Thank you.
It ran you raggedy.
Ran me raggedy. I'm still trying to rest from the creation of that project.
What's something that you feel like you learned about yourself that you didn't know?
I got that dog in me. I already knew that though. I already knew that.
It just exposed it more.
I already knew that, but Favor, like, she had to show up more often than normal. But yeah, this just like I'm really resilient, which like I said, I feel like I already knew that, but it showed it again. And that I can trust myself from conception to completion, which is really important. That album took 2 years. I did not think it was gonna take that long. So do you know how many times you gotta keep telling yourself, I'm not wasting my time. This is gonna be good. This is worth it. This is worth all this. For 2 years straight.
So you had that point where you was questioning if you still wanted to do it.
Yeah. Like midway through, I'm like, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of, because I also was driving crazy hours just to go to the studio. Like I'm driving 3 hours to go record. And so just laying the music on a track was a feat within itself. And then I do that, and now I got, okay, well, you got the music, now we got to get it mixed and mastered, which is, you know, more money. And now I need a visual concept to accompany it. And now I got to work on my marketing strategies, my social media content strategies. And then I'll figure this merch out. Then I got to update my website. Then I got to, the list just goes on and on and on. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm still tired. I told you. I'm still tired right now. But,
What's your favorite on there?
2000. That I get a lot of feedback on that song specifically, but I was more animated on that song than I probably have been in any other song I've recorded. I guess just kind of more lax, and I was rapping my ass off too.
You was.
I was.
On the whole album, really.
Sometimes like the time be a blessing. Like you want to do something in like a time frame, but you realize like as time seems like I'm so glad I didn't, you know.
I'm not even
like,
the same person that I was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I even talk about that in the album. Like I'm being molded and stretched and made to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like now that this album is out, I do feel like I'm a totally different version of myself. Definitely. You know, I'm taking money. I'd rather be in Mexico on a beach or something. I'm taking this money and recording a music video with it. So, you know, just little things like that. I don't regret anything. And I think, if nothing else, I'm establishing a really good foundation and really good habits. Because I feel like you need to know how to stick to something. You need to know the importance and the value in sacrifice. You need to know the value in consistency. So it's like, we were talking a little bit earlier about how I got some pushback from my family or whatever, or just anybody who may look at the things that we do as artists and like, they crazy. They be spending all that money, they be doing all that, investing all that time, and they ain't rich yet. People who don't, I'm serious. People who don't do it will never understand what it builds in you though. It's like, I got a level of consistency you ain't never seen.
Yeah.
I got a level of sacrifice you ain't never seen. I have this level of faith. Oh my God, it takes a crazy level of faith for me to wake up every day and even though it has yet to happen, still believe it's fully possible. Like, I'm building all these characteristics within myself that you have not even touched within yourself, but you think I'm crazy. You feel me? So everybody should be an artist. I think everybody is an artist, actually.
I do too.
They just don't, they scared to explore it. And maybe not even scared, but it take a lot of resources, it take a lot of guts, it take a lot of a lot.
Because it's a lot that go into being an artist.
Yes.
Behind the scenes, why they always making movies about the shit.
Yeah.
But I think, like, as artists, like you were saying, it get to a point where what you creating, you have to put everything into it.
And I think people who are not pursuing this too, they underestimate that level of conviction you feel if you don't do it.
Because you come face to face with yourself a lot through that journey.
Listen, I just know that if I were to completely stop making art, like even break style, like if I said, okay, I'm gonna do a year, nothing music related, that would be a miserable year for me.
And it's not even about you, you're not even saying like putting it out, just making it.
I'm just creating.
Yeah.
I need that, like.
Where do I begin? Let's take it back to the origin, immaculate conception. And how about the end? I'm 25 and some days I feel barely alive on my Angelo tip till I rise. Odds have been stacked up against me since I was conceived in the womb. They won't see my demise. I am a child of omnipotent, knew I was different. Think that it's time that I fly. Won't be refined, but ain't been through the fire. I am designed, shout out to my God. I got the visions, the plans, and the strategy, but I need him to help me with my stride. I might seclude and go off on sabbatical. Might benefit from me, myself, and I can't let the haters infringe on the strategy. Standing 10 toes to the day that I
I think I'm blessed, like I said, to have to be in community with artists. And so
You are.
Even when I'm like stressed out or frustrated in a certain season about creating, I really can't avoid it. Like, a lot of my friends are artists. Luckily, they like actually good artists, and so like they inspire me. Like, I don't have to like seek out inspiration a lot of times. It's like, wow, like these niggas.
Because Memphis is full of it.
Cold, yeah, like niggas be talented. Yeah, and then also like being like that for some people, and then people will tell me so like yeah, I'm like let me lock in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I do feel like it's like teamwork. I know some people like want to be like the man or whatever, or like, that girl, and it's like, that's like a good, idea to have when you like, your drive was like to motivate yourself to do your work. But in reality, like, we need like 17 demands, and we need like 22 like that girls, because it is all work together, and like we trying to like build infrastructure to be able to, so it's better for everybody. I think one of the issues that Memphis does has is like a lot of those industries aren't supported in a way because they feel like, we know what this place is. It's like a distribution hub. It's like a this. It's like a that. It's like we can get a lot of money through the prison industrial complex. But it's like when something is viable, like the markets respond. And so leaning on each other in ways that aren't tangible, like just inspiration, and in ways that are, like helping each other out, like in real, actual, tangible ways. It helps everybody out. It's trickle down. When niggas was shooting centers in Mississippi and Clarksville, like it trickled down to over here. It's like it's all of this shit is connected, and I think we just got to be more mindful of that and more intentional in moving in that. And yeah.
Well, you saying that. But you saying that reminded me of something I saw you say, where you was saying people gotta man they post.
I literally thought about that when you were saying that. When you were saying that.
Gotta man
so
your
yes,
post.
give my daddy his credit, because he gonna watch this and be like, I said that first, he did. So, but he has this saying that he says when it's like, basically you were saying you need different people a part of a greater unit, all doing different things. So you create to the infrastructure as a whole. And he calls that man in your post. Like everybody want to be the superstar.
Yeah.
You can't have just no one superstar, especially when we in this place. I'm using Arkansas for an example. We're in this place that's not a music hub. So it's like nobody is particularly looking here for a superstar. So how about we all be strong in the things that we bring to the table individually and then come together, and they're more likely to look at a unit versus one person.
Definitely.
And now it's the perfect time for it because Arkansas right now, as far as artists, is crazy in terms of the talent that's in there.
I agree. I hear so many people from Arkansas say the same thing. The talent is there, the infrastructure is not. Like the unity is not.
Yeah.
How do we build that? Because I feel like it's deeper than just getting on a song with each other. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know how to build that, how to curate that. Like I'm so focused on trying to be a strong pillar myself. I do, and I have, and I will continue to collaborate with some people, cinematographers, event coordinators and curators, DJs, choreographers. Like, yes, I have collaborated with people, but like I said, it's a difference between collaboration and being a team or like a consistent thing. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people think that there is only one spotlight. So it's like, I gotta do whatever I gotta do to get in it. When it's like, really, it ain't even shining over here. If we were to work together, we would be louder in drawing its attention over here.
Instead of thinking more me, thinking we.
Like you said, I do think it's important for us to support each other in tangible and intangible ways. And intangible is so simple. It could look like reposting my stuff on social media, which, you know, I ain't even gonna get into that. But what does tangible look like? You feel me? It's beautiful to sit up here and say like, oh, we need to all collaborate and be one big happy family. But at the end of the day, being an artist is some slight competition embedded within that.
It's not always happy family. It's like people like, I don't like you. Like, I like Mike. Hopefully I respect you, you know what I mean? But like, I don't like you. But like I said, like, I don't like you, but there are a community of people that do. And what you're doing is important, and it's important to a community of people. And so how can I help you further that message?
I think other demographics are really good at that too.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the specifics, but I think there are some demographics out here that are really good at that, and not even necessarily like I see you and I think what you possess would be good for a community, but more even so, I see what you got, I see what I got, we can make some money.
Yes, I said I can gain from what you got going on.
Yes.
I don't care about nothing.
Yeah.
I do think that's true, but I do think people that look like me would never get there. That's not the worst thing in the world, because I think there's like a super toxic, extractive foundation to even work from, and they also like backdoor each other too. I think
very true, but then I start asking the question: what do we prioritize? Do we so yes, none of that is cool for there to be. That's so much in there.
Yeah, because historically, like the way we have successfully just like over time, over whatever geographically wherever we at, it's been different. It's been largely communal in ways.
We're very big on values,
yes.
on like love, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but it don't always.
But it's a disadvantage sometimes.
It don't always build infrastructure. It don't always translate to something tangible. Like, you know, why don't we have apartment complexes named after us? Why don't we have? So, you know, why is most of the land in a largely predominantly black area not owned by black people? I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and I was raised in a community where values and just the uplifting of each other was at the forefront and was super important. But I do think at some point we got to like unlock the fingers and do some work.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I think you should negate brotherhood and sisterhood and all those types of things, but
to go back to what I was saying, it's like, again, like the way I see it is, that's why I say like, I don't have to like you. It's like, that's my version of it. It's like, we're gonna hold these hands, like hopefully not literally. But it's like, you know, a shared mission, more so than even shared values.
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
We have a shared mission, we have a common goal, and we are suffering from, you know what I'm saying, a lack of unity in a lot of ways, for a lot of reasons that aren't our fault, and sometimes, you know, on an individual, you know, sense, it can be our fault. And I think showing people, one, that you can do that, and then show people what can come from that is what we have to do. Otherwise, you're never gonna get around. You're not gonna kumbaya your way into like some people. I'm just like, I'm never gonna like you.
Exactly.
Like I'm never gonna like you, and it's okay because I'm not somebody personally that doesn't have to like manifest into anything. I just don't like you.
And then ironically, if you can get those systems built and make them tangible things, you'll get plenty of like love and adoration and respect then.
Yeah.
You know? So let's, how about, focus a little more on that sometimes.
Like literally. Again, like you were saying, speaking to earlier, it's like a lot of that scarcity mindset, like people are different people when circumstances are different. A lot of people like they are this way. Oh, you selfish, you this, you that, you da-da-da, you greedy, you like, it's because you living in a survival mindset, scarcity mindset, like only I can, if you get it, I can't have it. I think when people start to see their circumstances change, because you can see these in like, smaller instances, like microcosms and things, you can see people will change, their circumstances change. Like, I guess I ain't as, selfish as I thought I was. And I think we can fall into a trap of thinking like that's who we are and that's who others are due to circumstances. It's like the circumstances ain't our fault and they are designed. And so it's like we gotta keep in mind, like, even I'm going to give you the benefit that like that's like not who you are at your foundation. And I hope I'm fucking right. But like, you like, and that's not for everybody, but I know I'm built for that. And so I think people who are got to be on like the first wave or like, like trying to show people like how we do that. And then, like with anything, it's like you'll have early adopters and you have people like who like wait until like absolutely safe to, join in on the cause. Sometimes artists are the leaders. And sometimes people like, sometimes they're not. Like, hey, I'm a reclusive nigga, I'm a da-da-da-da. This is what I give to y'all. And it's like, you just gotta know your lane or your role or whatever. But if you can do it, you should do it. If you can build, like, pick a brick up, cuz. For real. We in an era in general, and it's always been important, but it's like now it's like unavoidable. Like that's why like what you're doing is cool. It's like you gotta supplement your work and your movement like what you talking about like who you are, what you care about, why it's important.
Otherwise, it don't really resonate with people. The art.
Yeah, it's not gonna resonate.
I got that a lot. Like when I put my first 2 projects out, I got a lot of feedback saying like, good at what you do. Like you can rap, there's no doubt about that. But put a storyline together. Like let us in on who you are as an individual more so. And so I tried to do that with my latest project. I'm still like, I don't know how much conversation y'all gonna get out of me about that. And I think like conversation is just a very human aspect of artistry too. And people want to feel like, hey, she human. I want to see the human size of her or whatever.
So relate more. Mm-hmm. As an artist, when you on the rise, that's a part of it.
It is.
That's a part of it.
It is, yeah. It's a thin line. Like, take this art. I'm gonna go over here for a little bit. I'll come back, talk to you sometime, but I can't just talk to you all the time.
Yeah, you gotta make people miss you.
It take away the appeal, in my opinion. It's like
it do. That's why a lot of not just artists, but celebrities too aren't as big as Michael Jackson was. Mm-hmm. Because now
too accessible.
Yeah, you're too accessible.
Mm-hmm.
That coupled with like we don't have universal media anymore. It's not like we like all listening to the radio or we like all watching the same 5 programs.
Yep.
That helps a lot too. Because everything's, like I said, so many niches, everything's so fragmented. We don't even watch, even when we watch the same show, it ain't even at the same time. Even on the same day. A lot of opportunity comes with that, but like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to like rule the public's attention like that no more. Whole countries get bombed, people don't even know about it. Like that wasn't gonna happen in like 1994.
Right.
It's like news for like the next 2 years.
Right.
That's 2 days worth of news now. I don't want to be the face of something talking for like like various reasons. Cause like again, like I said, I'm various. Like on Monday I might be feeling like Malcolm X, and then on Wednesday I might be feeling like Detroit Red. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I don't want to like I don't even want to like compromise potentially like a mission. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I might crash out.
Yeah.
But I don't mean, you know what I'm saying, like what I care about any less. It's just like I'm a flawed individual.
Yeah.
Are we all not? Wait a minute.
Like everybody.
Yeah, but sometimes like in these type of contexts, sometimes like people silly, so it's like
I
sometimes you're
feel-
not allowed to be.